Both Louisiana's Attorney General and the ACLU claim victory in a case about a new state law that outlaws interfering with immigration efforts. Sabrina Wilson shares what experts say federal agents are allowed to do when looking for illegal immigrants.
As the federal government's crackdown on illegal immigrants in the New Orleans area continues, questions abound about what federal immigration agents can do as they conduct sweeps.
They do have the right to kind of go in and, just like with any criminal activity, if there's any kind of suspicion, et cetera, do have a right to stop someone and ask questions, et cetera.
And Dillard University criminologist Dr. Ashraf Ismail says they can ask someone for identification.
Well, again, it's reasonable. You can ask for someone's ID, et cetera.
But he says entering someone's home is something different.
If in this case, undocumented immigrants. And so if you don't have a warrant, like you can't go into a person's home without, again, reasonable suspicion. There's got to be some reasonable evidence why you're going to this person's home.
The law hasn't changed about interfering with the police. You can't do that. If they're investigating, if someone is being arrested, you can film them, you can watch.
Now, earlier this year, Louisiana lawmakers passed a new law related specifically to immigration enforcement and related activities in Louisiana.
What 399 said was that you can't knowingly commit an act that's intended to hinder, delay, prevent, or otherwise interfere or thwart federal immigration efforts.
Louisiana Attorney General Liz Murrill says a federal judge has denied the ACLU's motion for a temporary restraining order on the law. Attorney Scott Sternberg, who represents media outlets in Louisiana, says that law is murky.
That's the problem, because it says any act intended to hinder. And what does that mean? It's very vague, right? So you shout, "Run!" Is that an act intended to hinder? And that's the problem with the law.
Law enforcement stopping you, just cooperate. If you're innocent, then that's going to be shown. You know, if you're not, that's going to be shown as well. But I would just do it.
You really can't get in the way of a peace officer or immigration officials. Not only is it not a good idea, generally, they have very broad discretion in the police power.
In a statement, the ACLU said the AG's office conceded that Act 399 cannot be used to target speech and says that moots the need for the court to decide the TRO. AG Merrill says it became apparent at today's court hearing that the ACLU filed suit over nothing, and she says there is no First Amendment problem with Act 399.